17 years. 3 kids. A life I thought was solid. Then I found an invitation in my wife's car. My name wasn't on it. Her ex-boyfriend was sitting with her parents in the seat that used to be mine. While she smiled for photos, I packed. I emptied accounts. What she came home to changed everything. My name is Michael Harrison. People call me Mike. I'm 43. I spent the last 18 years building something I thought mattered. 3 coffee franchises across the metro. My name on the lease. My sweat in the foundation. My money keeping the lights on. Not glamorous, but honest work. The kind that lets you sleep at night. Or at least it used to. I married Jennifer Collins 21 years ago. She was 20, fresh-faced and full of plans. I was 22 and stupid enough to think love conquered everything. 1 year later, we had Madison. She's our daughter, started sophomore year at State studying biology, living 3 hours away. Old enough now to understand that marriages aren't always what they look like in photos. Jennifer works as a sales director for MedTech Solutions. She brings home a 6-figure salary. She flies to conferences. She schmoozes with doctors and hospital administrators. 3 weeks ago, she was promoted, not officially yet, but the announcement was coming. Vice President of Sales. Corner office. Company car. The works. I found the invitation by accident. Tuesday morning, I was looking for my insurance card. We'd been meaning to add her car to my policy. Save a few bucks. That's when I saw it wedged between the passenger seat and the center console. Cream paper. Expensive. MedTech Solutions cordially invites you to celebrate. Is Jennifer Harrison's promotion to Vice President of Sales. November 15th. 7 p.m. The Metropolitan Club. Dinner. And reception to follow. Inside was the seating chart. Alphabetical by last name. Jennifer Harrison. 2 seats at table 3. Her parents listed. Her brother and his wife. Not me. Not at any table. I stood in the driveway with that invitation for a long time, watching the paper tremble in my hand. Not from anger. Not yet. Just that hollow feeling you get when you realize you've been background. Noise in your own marriage? Jennifer came out 20 minutes later, coffee mug in hand. Already on her phone? She didn't notice me at first. When she did, her smile faltered for a fraction. "Hey, babe," she said, unnaturally bright. "Thought you'd already left for the Riverside location?" I held up the invitation without saying a word. Her face did something complicated. Not quite guilt. Not quite defiance. Somewhere in between. "Oh," she said. "They said that." That I repeated. "Your big promotion celebration. The one I'm apparently not invited to." She set her mug on the hood of the car like she was buying time to think. I watched her cycle through 3 expressions before she settled on something between apologetic and defensive. "Mike, it's not what you think," she said. "Then tell me what it is," I said. "Because what I think is, my wife got promoted to VP, and I'm not invited to watch her celebrate. She crossed her arms. That's always her tell when she's about to say something. She knows I won't like my parents. Requested the seating arrangements, she said. You know how my dad is about these corporate things? He's very particular about optics. Optics, I repeated. Your dad cares about optics so much that his son-in-law of 21 years doesn't make the guest list. It's complicated, Mike, she said. Then make it simple. I looked at her. Who's sitting in my place? She looked away toward the street. They think Austin should be there. The name hit me like cold water. Austin Parker. Her college boyfriend, a hospitality consultant who talked profit margins like scripture. I'd met him twice. He'd always looked at me like I was help. Austin. I said, your ex-boyfriend? The Austin who's consulting with my company now? He's been helping us restructure our distribution strategy, Jennifer said. Her voice went defensive. He's actually really valuable to the team. That's great, I said. Wonderful. But that doesn't explain why he gets a seat at your celebration and I don't. She finally looked at me. Her jaw was tight. My parents like him, okay? They think he's more their speed. They've always liked him. You mean he speaks their language, I said. The corporate world, networking. Running coffee shops isn't impressive to people like them. Her words trailed off. The rest of the sentence hung there anyway. I felt something colder than anger move through me. So let me make sure I understand, I said, keeping my voice level. Your parents prefer your ex to your husband. And rather than tell them that's insane, you went along with it. You didn't even tell me. I had to find out by accident. I was going to tell you, she said. She didn't sound convinced. That night I went to work. The Riverside location needed me, but not as much as I needed busy hands to think. Between pulling shots and signing invoices, I kept replaying. Austin's name at table 3. Around 2 in the afternoon, I called my accountant, Gerald Simmons. Gerald's 68. Sharp as they come. He's done my book since I opened the first shop 15 years ago. Pull everything, I told him. All joint account activity for the last 2 years. Everything Jennifer and I have together, checking, savings, investments, anything that looks odd. There was a pause. Gerald knew. I'll have it for you by Thursday, he said. Keep this between us. At closing, Jennifer came home late. She said she'd been at a strategy meeting. She kissed me like nothing was wrong. Later, she said casual Austin called today. He wanted to confirm details about Friday's event. Casual? I said. Too casual. Her tone tightened. Mike, please don't be like this. Like what? I asked. Like a husband who just found out he was replaced by his wife's ex at her biggest night? You haven't been replaced, she said. You're being dramatic. I asked when Austin started consulting. Maybe 6-7 months ago, she said. I don't remember exactly. That same week, the Riverside location started losing contracts. Regular corporate accounts shifted to a new place across town called Velocity Cafe, sleeker branding. Aggressive pricing. Suspiciously well-informed about our pricing structure. Coincidence, I'd told myself. Now I wasn't so sure. Thursday morning, Gerald called while I was opening the downtown shop. Mike, you need to come in now. He didn't small talk. I knew it was bad. At his office, he spread papers across the desk like evidence. Bank statements. Transaction records. Copies of checks I'd never seen. Tell me what I'm looking at. I said, there's $240,000 in your joint savings 3 years ago, Gerald said. Then funds start disappearing. 18 months ago, an $80,000 withdrawal. Memo line. Investment opportunity. Signature looks like yours. I stared. I didn't authorize that. Someone forged it, Gerald said. Then 69,000, then 45. Nearly 200,000 gone. Wire transfers to the same LLC, Parker Hospitality Ventures. Austin Parker. My stomach dropped. There's more, Gerald said. Your business accounts have been pulled. Reports after hours, vendor contracts, pricing files. Jennifer's an admin on the accounting software. These pulls happen around 9 or 10 p.m. when you're asleep. Outside Gerald's window, people were living ordinary lives. Inside, mine was collapsing. He slid a final paper across the desk. Velocity, Cafe's business registration. Registered 8 months ago. Silent partner, Parker Hospitality Ventures. Austin wasn't just consulting for my wife. He was using my money to fund a competitor. Using my business intelligence to undercut my contracts. And Jennifer had been helping him. Legally, you document everything, Gerald said. Protect yourself. Get a lawyer. Personally, you decide whether to fight or walk away. But if you walk, do it smart. I drove home in a fog. The house was empty. Jennifer was probably at the Met, sipping champagne, thanking executives, and I imagined Austin. I went to the garage. 3 boxes marked college files in Jennifer's handwriting. Old paperwork. A thank you card dated 22 years ago. Thanks for the getaway to Silver Creek. Next one's on me. From Austin. The weekend she'd told me she was volunteering at a shelter. She hadn't been clarity settled in. She'd been lying for years. She'd grown careless. Friday morning I woke before her. Dressed in jeans and my old Colorado State hoodie, I watched her leave. Have a great time, I said. She smiled. Relieved, maybe, like she'd expected a fight and was grateful not to get one. I called Gerald. Transfer my half of the joint accounts into my business account, I said. Pull me off every joint authorization. Credit cards, utilities. Remove my name by the end of business today. Next call was to Patricia Hendris, my lawyer. She's 56 and the best family attorney in the metro. Patricia, I said, I need to retain you today. She told me to come in. 90 minutes and 3 folders later, she had a plan. File separation papers on Monday. Don't tell her. Hit first, hit hard, and bring documentation. Regarding tonight, her legal advice was short. Stay away. Don't create a scene. Don't give her ammo. I rented a storage unit 2 weeks earlier under my business name. That afternoon, I pulled out the documents that mattered, the laptop backup, Gerald's reports, the timeline I'd been tracking. I packed the essentials from the house. My wedding ring, I left on the kitchen counter next to the coffee maker. I left. I didn't go to the Metropolitan Club. I booked an extended stay hotel. Cold, fluorescent, and quiet. I ordered a burger, watched a game I didn't care about, and for the first time in weeks, I slept. The hard part, the not knowing, was over. Saturday morning, Jennifer called. I let it ring. When I finally answered, she asked where I was. I asked her how the party went. How was it? I said. Did Austin enjoy sitting with your parents in my seat? Then, Mike, if this is about the seating arrangements, it's not about the seating arrangements, I said. It's about $200,000. Complete silence on the other end. I don't know what you're talking about, she said finally. Yes, you do, I said. Parker Hospitality Ventures, the LLC, the wires, the forged signatures, fraud, identity theft. That's a felony. Her breathing changed. Talk to my lawyer, she said. I've already talked to mine, I said. Madison already knows. She'd texted me the night before. Dad, I'm driving home tonight. Something's wrong. She knew. She'd spoken to her grandmother. The family had been planting the narrative for months. Monday morning, you're getting served with separation papers. Tuesday morning, I file a police report. It's slander, Jennifer said. You can't tell everyone. It's not slander if it's true, I said. And I have documentation. Yeah. 3 weeks later, Patricia called. Mike, she said, this is worse than we thought. Wire fraud, identity theft, possibly racketeering. They may charge her. She's been working with Austin for months. He had a history. A lawsuit in Oregon for fraud. Settled out of court. Pattern, Patricia said. This wasn't an isolated incident. We filed. We prepared civil suits. Discovery is a beautiful thing when you're on the right side of it. Austin's past resurfaced. Velocity Cafe closed after a health inspector found violations. Old lawsuits reappeared. The trustee recovered some funds from offshore accounts. Austin filed bankruptcy, but bankruptcies don't always protect ill-gotten gains. Patricia smiled thin. Criminal charges tend to make people reasonable in divorce negotiations. Oh. Jennifer called me weeks later, small, broken. The DA wants to charge me, she said. Please. Tell them you won't press charges. I didn't press charges, I said. The DA did. Once they saw the evidence, it was out of my hands. She begged. She apologized. She said she was sorry. She said she'd been stupid. I listened. I didn't hate her. Hate requires work. I was done caring that much. The divorce finalized 8 weeks later. Jennifer took a plea. Probation, restitution. Austin got for years. Likely out in 2 with good behavior. I got the house. I got the franchises. I got a judgment. Not everything was recovered, but enough that I could rebuild. Madison came home for Thanksgiving. We cooked together. Just the 2 of us. The simple things, turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, washing dishes. She asked, "Are you okay?" I said, "Really okay?" She hugged me, and for the first time in months, it felt like peace. 14 months after that invitation in the driveway, I stood at the grand opening of my 4th location. Bigger, better, everything I'd planned before Austin tried to destroy me. Madison was there behind the counter, home for spring break, wearing a company t-shirt. Tom, my assistant manager, was a partner now. We'd rebuilt. A woman walked up to the counter that day. Mid-30s, confident. "This place is amazing," she said. "How long have you been in business?" We talked about pastries and partnerships. Her name was Sarah Mitchell. Later, I texted her, "Want to grab dinner and talk about a partnership?" She said yes. Maybe I'll call her for real this time. Jennifer texted me a congratulations message after the opening. I deleted it without replying. That's how you move forward. You stop looking back. I'm 44 now, single, growing the business. Maybe starting something else too. It wasn't the life I planned when I married 21 years ago. It's better. If this story hits home, do me a favor, hit subscribe. It helps more than you think.
And women need to lean down and tone up, and lifting weights will make you look like a man. So I think we are trying to get away from a lot of that history behind why women should exercise in the first place. So I think that's the first thing. I think secondly, women are afraid they're going to get bulky because of this conditioning that we've had in the fitness industry, that if you lift a weight, you're going to look like a man. First off, it is very difficult for most women to build muscle. You have to have a very structured routine, which we can get into that. You have to lift with a certain amount of intensity. You don't necessarily have to lift super heavy weights, which I think is another reason why women get afraid of trying to build muscle, because they think they have to lift super heavy and do these compound lifts that they see at in the men doing in the gym. And so they shy away from doing it at all, when really there's an in-between where you can lift a moderate amount of weight. You don't have to do heavy compound lifts to build muscle.